Hariom, everybody, and welcome to our Sanskrit class. Well, I should call it the Devanagari script class because for the next 3 weeks, we will be focusing on learning the script. The Devanagari script is the same script that is used in Sanskrit and in Hindi. And even though they are written the same, just like English and French, there are some fundamental differences between the two. Not as extreme as English and French. There are some differences between the two that we will see as we go along. I'll point out so everyone is clear about them. And this is important, especially for Hindi speakers, because those who know Hindi, when they see the Sanskrit script, they feel they know Sanskrit. But it is a different language and it is pronounced differently in some key aspects. So please just look out for that. We will be getting to that. Another question that we've been asked is, who are our teachers? Well, my name is Gina. I will be one of the teachers, and Devji is the other teacher for this class. So between the two of us, we will be taking these Sanskrit classes. The next most popular question is, how hard is it going to be? And this question stems from our impression that English is easy and everything else is hard. And let me tell you, that is a psychological bias. We have a big blind spot about the difficulties of English, perhaps because of our origin, perhaps because we're from a British colony, right? Everyone speaking English is from a British colony. So perhaps because of that, we feel that English is easy and everything else is hard. But if you can speak English and you can read and write English, well, you are going to feel like Sanskrit and Hindi is a joke once you learn it, and you will see why, right? So let me give you some examples. What is this letter? A. How do you say this word? Apple. This word? America. This word? April. This word? Awesome. They all start with A and they all sound completely different. That's called easy? What does this letter make? What sound does this letter make? Right? This one is E. Let's try E. Egg, earth, eat, ate. Easy? You see what I mean? We don't know. I mean, it has its own name. It has its own sounds in 4 different words, but we say it is easy. Okay. How do you say this word? Cut, hut, but, nut, but. No. This is put. Oh, but then someone has to teach me that this is put. But we say English is easy. Okay, last one. This is called vase or vase? I don't know. Tomato or tomato? Potato or potato? Compost or what is it? There's different ways. I can't even remember how to say the other one. This is Z or Z? You see? So we say English is easy. Okay, look at this. Right. 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 Right? English is easy, right? English is not as easy as people think. So see some things. In English, we had spelling tests growing up. Every week we had a spelling test. In Devanagari, there will be no spelling test because it is a phonetic language, meaning whatever you hear is exactly what you're going to write. There is no pronunciation test about how to say words because exactly how you see it is how you say it. And in English, you have to learn the names of letters. This is called A, and it makes the sound A, or A, or or all different kinds of things. In Devanagari, there's the name of the letter is the sound that the letter makes every single time. So straight away, you've cut out like more than 50% of the language in the way we know English. So what is the solution for those who feel that Sanskrit is hard? Well, the first thing is you have to remember that it is not hard. If you can speak English and if you can read and write English, you should know that Sanskrit or Hindi will be, Sanskrit is the easiest alphabet to learn because it is phonetic. You know, when I was growing up, my mom ended up taking a French class. And one day I noticed in her book that she would write whatever she was learning in French, she would write it out in Hindi because she's a Hindi speaker or originally. And so I would laugh at her and be like, why are you doing this? That's so funny. But actually, it was the smartest thing ever because you tie a totally non-phonetic language to a phonetic pronunciation, and now you know exactly how to say it, right? When you learn Sanskrit, there will be nothing you cannot pronounce. Actually, maybe except some Guyanese village names. Even that, if on the board, you know, everywhere you're driving down the road and you see all the village names, if they wrote it in Devanagari, the script, you might be able to pronounce that also perfectly without someone telling you how to pronounce it. So the first thing is make up your mind to understand it is not hard. Second thing is to take a resolve. A resolve meaning I have put effort into achieving and learning so many things in this world already. Now I get a chance to learn a language that is going to open my access to infinite literature of not just ordinary literature, but the kind of literature that contains in it ideas that are going to give me moksha. So you've come to this class for a reason. You take a resolve in your mind that I am not going to stop until I learn it. And there's nothing that can stop me from learning it except my own mind. And I am in control of my mind. So I make a resolution that my mind is not going to come between me and my learning of this language that I have decided to learn. The third thing is you have to love the language. And you have maybe just about 1 more minute of introduction to start falling in love with it. And then your life will be set. Because you all know if you love something, it doesn't feel hard in any way, shape, or form, right? The more you see the beauty of this language, also, the more you fall in love with it. I had planned to at the Vedanta course, I heard that there was going to be Sanskrit. And my plan was just to, fluke my way through it. But that plan didn't work out for two reasons. One, Swamiji was teaching it, so you can't fluke your way through it. But the second is the language is irresistibly lovable. So helplessly, you fall in love with it. And the last thing is practice. Practice, 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 practice. Meaning you are going to, for the next few weeks, you're going to breathe Sanskrit, you're going to dream Sanskrit, you're going to eat Sanskrit, you're going to, whatever you're doing in life, it's going to be Sanskrit Maya. You're going to be pervaded by the thought of the letters that you're learning and the sounds that you're learning, and you're going to be writing it in your mind, you're going to be writing it in your food, you're going to be writing it in the shower, wherever you get an opportunity, you're going to find a way to try and practice. So this is a little bit about getting our minds ready for Sanskrit. Okay, now today we're going to start with the alphabet. The alphabet in Sanskrit is called Akshara. Akshara is the Sanskrit word for what we say alphabet. Let me tell you something interesting. Akshara in Sanskrit means that which does not change, right? And the alphabet is called Akshara because it is the smallest unit of the language. See the genius of the rishis? From the word itself, it starts to deliver philosophical concepts, right? The smallest unit of the language is called Akshara, that which does not change. And that is what we are going to start with today. So let me just share my screen. Give me 1 moment. Works? Okay, perfect. In Sanskrit, in English, when we say the alphabet, it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Everyone knows the alphabet song. And we learn the alphabet as it is, and then we are taught that the vowels are A, E, I, O, U. The vowels are interspersed in the alphabet song, and you just have to learn it. Well, in Sanskrit, we don't have the alphabet presented like that. The alphabet is presented with the vowels first and then the consonants. And they're different because they're fundamentally different in their pronunciations. Sanskrit, the word vowel in Sanskrit is svara. Svayam rajate, that which rules on its own, meaning that which does not need any assistance to be pronounced. If you say the vowels, you will notice that your mouth is open for the sounds to come out. They come out without any effort of the positioning of the mouth. We'll see the contrast when we get to the consonants, right? But vowels first. Let us see. Right here in the first two vowels that we are going to see, more than 80% of the mistakes are made, especially here in the Caribbean. So everybody, the most difficult part of the language is just about to come your way. So please strap in, put your helmet on, put whatever you have to put on to get it here. You get it one time and you've gotten it for life. The first letter is, and watch how I write it, because the way it is written is very important. Can you all see? Nothing. Okay. This is the letter A. A. Everybody say A. As you are writing it, say it. A. It is made of a 3 and a line across and then a line down. And finally, you put the little stroke on top. That is the sound A. A. A as in uh-oh. A as in umbrella. A as in and you know this sound actually I was trying to find words in Guyana and I noticed that a lot of the words that are normally pronounced with are pronounced differently here. So I think one of the best ways to try and remember what the sound is don't think this is a weird example. I'm just trying this out, right? You know, when you are gargling and you go, like that, that sound that comes out of your mouth, that is the sound that is made with this letter. Uh, uh, You have to go on saying it. If you have to imagine gargling, please do. Do whatever you have to do. Think of whatever examples you have to think of, but you cannot get this sound wrong because it is in 80% of the language. Okay? All right. Next sound. Oh, please write it a few more times. And each time you say it, each time you write it, you have to say it because in our mind, the sound is intricately connected to our writing. They'll get stuck in your mind when you do them together, right? And on your paper, please write a few words that will help you to remember the sound that it makes. Like the sound that you make when you gargle, like when you say uh-oh, like when you say like when you say umbrella. Okay, so that is letter number 1. Letter number 2. In Sanskrit, in Vedanta, we talk about the world being made of the pairs of opposites. Sorry, the complementary pairs. Dvandva samsara it is, right? Well, in Sanskrit also there is dvandva, meaning every letter will have a complementary pair. What is the complementary pair for a? it looks similar also. You're going to write it the same way. It starts with a 3 and a line, and then the line down, then a second line. That's right. A second line. Finally, you put the stroke across on the top. This is ah, ah, like alu, like aji, like bal, potato bal, that the in all of those words is the sound that this makes. So a 3, a line across, 2 strokes down, and finally the line on top. Now, if you learn Sanskrit, now that you have learned Sanskrit, you should never pronounce the word Bhagavad Gita wrong. There are countless people who call it the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad is not Bhagavad. The first sound, is what you find in Bhagavad. And the second sound, is what you find in Bhagavad. Bhagavat versus Bhagavat. So please stick this in your head. If this is the only thing that you remember today, you are good. I'm just joking. There's more letters to learn. But please, this is something that cannot be mistaken. A versus A. Bhagavat versus Bhagavat. Okay, first 2 letters. So far, so good? So far, so good. Okay, good. Letter number 3. Watch. You make a little stick. Just watch first before you copy it down, right? Then you make an S. But you don't stop. The S has a little tail. Then finally you put the stroke on top. And this is it. It, like the itch on your back in meditation. The itch on your back in meditation. So in meditation, you're supposed to be sitting straight and your body wants to do this kind of twisted thing and scratch all different parts of your body. It. So a little line, an S, and a tail. And then finally you put the stroke on top. It. As you're saying it, as you're writing it, please say it. It like the I in guitar. It. I like igloo. I like itsy bitsy spider. It. So you think of some words that you know, starting with it, and you write them down. It. Just like and were complementary pairs, well, I comes with its own best friend. Who is best friend? If makes if and go together, I and E are going to go together. So E is written like this. It starts the same way as it, but then you put the line on top, and finally you put a hook on the top. It's supposed to actually touch exactly the line, right? Has a hook on the top. This is E, the E that the dentist wants you to make when you brush your teeth. You know, E. the E in English, A, B, C, D, E. This is easy. Everyone knows how to say this because of the English alphabet song. E, letter E. E, please write it down a few times. E. Guitar versus Gita. Gita, the E in Gita is this. I versus E. I, E. So you've seen A, I, E. Say with me. A, I, E. A few more times. A, I, E. A, I, E. Okay, let us do a couple more. The next one is O, O, like input. O, input or foot. And again, it is written in a very simple way. It starts with a 3, just like A, but that is all it is. That is literally all it is. It is a 3 with a line on top. O, 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 O. O is the sound that is there in guru. Guru. U is the sound that is there in guru. U. Okay. And its complementary pair, its best friend, its sibling, whatever you want to call it, is U. Please see how I'm writing it. The same 3, as you would have guessed. And then from the middle of the 3, a line is going to come down. Kind of like Om, but not really. Why is it looking like O? Right, like that. And then you put the line on top. Ooh, a 3 with the line coming out. When we teach the kids, we describe it like the cheese that is oozing off the pizza. Ooh. Right? Ooh, like oozing. Ooh. So a 3 with the line coming out the middle and a line on top. Ooh. Ooh, like urdhva. So the U is like Upanishad, and the U is like Urdhva. Okay, so these are the 6 letters that we have learned today. A, I, E, U, U. Tomorrow we'll finish the vowels and I will teach you a song to help you to remember them, just like we have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know. But I mean, when you become proficient in a language, you're not going to try and remember, oh, which letter is that comes after H again? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Oh, I. No, no, no. You have to learn it so well that you don't need to sing the song each time. But in the beginning, the song helps. So we have a song. We will learn it tomorrow. But for today, your homework. Now, everybody, please listen to the homework rules. Rules? I don't know what to call it. The homework instructions, right? You're going to take a paper, a lined paper. And on the top, you're going to write 6 papers you need. And on the top, you're going to write on each one, A, and then A, and then it, and then E, and then U, and then U. And you are going to fill the entire paper with that letter from top to bottom, every single space. And you know when you're done writing and you can still see some white space, you find a way to fill out in little writing that letter. But you cannot write it unless you're saying it. So every time you write it, you say it. And I promise, by the time we meet tomorrow, you will remember these letters because of how many times you wrote them down. So whether you do it now or you wait and do it in the evening, I don't care. But before the clock strikes 12, no, 12 is late because you have to sleep on time to wake up for class, right? Before the clock strikes, whatever time you decide to sleep, you have to finish that homework today. Okay, it is 6:31. We started class 5 minutes late because we were giving grace time for people to join. I just want you all to give me 1 more minute to share a couple of important things, and then I will do closing prayer, and then I will take questions. Okay? Um, the pace of this class is going to be fast because everyone very excitedly signed up for a through learn the script in 3 weeks class. And unfortunately, it's not magic where you go and learn 2 letters each day and you think you've learned the language. We are going to go at a quick pace, but as long as you practice, it will not feel overwhelming. If you miss one day, well, you will come back feeling lost, right? So please do your best to make sure you don't miss at all the classes, especially the first 3 weeks, which are fundamental in learning the script properly. Hmm? The style is going to be like this. Every day we will learn a few letters, we will practice them, and then you will go home and write them out over and over and over again as homework. All questions, I'll ask you all to pause until the end of class. Once we finish class, then I will open up for questions. Attendance is mandatory. There are no recordings going to be shared with anybody. And I hope you all remember the rules that were emailed to you. The rules are: video has to be on at all times. Your face has to be visible, meaning I don't want to see your kitchen. I don't want to see the roof in your house. I don't want to see the dark space that you're sitting in. We want to see your face. And that is because these things are supposed to be learned in person. We have a Samaksha tradition, face to face. We're already compromising on that, and we are doing it online. So the least we can do is make the environment as ideal as possible. No multitasking, meaning no eating, no drinking. You join a few minutes early. The Pundits course is going on just before this as well. So we will open this meeting as soon as that class is done, but before 6 o'clock. You all sign in before 5. By 5:55, you plan to log in, and within a couple of minutes, you will be let in. Okay, that is it from my side. I will do closing prayer, and I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, no grace time. We're going to start sharp 6 o'clock. Okay? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.